T.O., you sent us a text yesterday. It was a screenshot. It was Ken Palm numbers. It was Kentucky's league performance last season. And there were a lot of first place numbers there. And I'm just kind of curious, one, why were you diving into Kentucky and kind of analyzing them like that? And two, what is the point of this? I think what your text said was, for all that we do, for all we bang on John Calipari with his antiquated offense, these numbers from last season are absurd. Talk to me about Kentucky last year.
They shot 37% or 36.9% from three in SEC play. They were first in the SEC in offensive efficiency. They were first in effective field goal percentage, which a lot of that has to do with the big fella, Oscar Tshiebwe, but it also has to do with all these lob threats. They were like blocked. They don't get blocked. They don't get the ball stolen from them. Like, this team offensively, you can say what you want. Talent makes up for a lot, but after a while, you got to have to acknowledge the numbers, right? And they had Kellen Grady and they had some other guys that knock down shots. They don't take as many threes as a lot of teams, but at the same time, they shoot 37% in league. It's hard to guard. And not only that, I was looking forward towards this year because I'm doing my previews and whatnot. Like, Severe Wheeler was third in the country in assist. And he has flaws, especially with that jump shot. But even he got his 3-point percentage above 30 for the first time in his career. Like, they've got different guys. Cason Wallace is going to be a plus 3-point shooter. CJ Frederick comes back. Antonio Reeves, an Illinois State transfer who averaged over 20 points a game, shoots it well. Now, he needs the ball a little bit more. I'm interested to see how that goes. But, I mean, Cal catches some flack from not just us. It's not just us, but like as far as his offense, because he's trying to create closeout quicks and let his athletes do the work. But at the same time, like, those numbers, like they ran into a buzzsaw against St. Peter's. That's what happened. They ran into the hottest team in the country at that very moment. And they lost one game against a very good St. Peter's team. Outside of that, guys, I had them picked for the national championship. Mm-hmm. They were that good last year. That's the crazy part about it. And I didn't realize their offensive efficiency numbers were going to be as high as what they were. And now a lot of that's because there's a lot of lob passes and things like that. And there's a lot of dunks around the rim, but still, you got to make it happen. Even it doesn't matter really how you get there. There's a lot of different ways to get there, but Calipari continues to get it done. Besides the COVID year, obviously.
Yeah, and for the record, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of dunks. If what you can do is scheme ways to get the easiest and most efficient shot in basketball over and over and over again, then you're doing a pretty damn good job as a basketball coach. I think so. My issue, I'm with you. I have Kentucky as a top 5 team. I think that they're going to win the SEC. I think that this is a team that is built to make a deep run. I love Wallace and Livingston and what they kind of provide in the sense that they're willing to play a role, right? They're not guys that are going to come in like Malik Monk, like Jamal Murray, and expect X number of shots when they're on a team that has a guy that's the reigning national player of the year. My concern is that when you have a point guard that can't shoot, it's easier to scheme. It's easier to game plan against. And in a sport where all it takes is one loss at the wrong time against a team with a good game plan, then that is the kind of thing that can cost you a season and be something where you lose to a 15 seed. Whereas if they play a 7-game series, right, then Kentucky loses the first game to St. Peter's, they win the next 4 by 40 points, right? But it doesn't matter because it's a 1-game knockout situation. And my concern with them, big picture, is that they can be easily schemed against. Now, I have them as top 5 team. It may not matter, Fanta, but that's just that's a red flag that sticks out to me about Kentucky heading into this season.
On this Thursday, September 8th, in the year of our Lord 2022, at 11:36 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am here to proclaim that at this moment, I believe that Kentucky should be the front runner to win the national championship this upcoming season. I have gone on record on this show and have been ripped apart by Kentucky fans for saying that there is real pressure on John Calipari this upcoming season. There's pressure on Kentucky. They wouldn't want it any other way. There should be pressure. You know why? They have the best player, and if he's not the best, he's the second best player in college basketball coming back, and he's the reigning national player of the year. They have brought in highly touted recruits. They have a player in Jacob Toppin who I believe is poised to take an even bigger leap this upcoming season. Cason Wallace is a plus 3-point shooter. He and Chris Livingston combined to go 12 of 25 from beyond the arc on the team's Bahamas trip. It's a Bahamas trip, but that's an encouraging stat line. And like you said, CJ Frederick coming back from injury, he's a veteran, he's a leader. I am not in the business of huge hot takes, but I'm going to bring this here. That was just the second time since 1987 that Kentucky basketball failed to make it out of the first round of the NCAA tournament. That was their loss to UMBC. What happened after Virginia lost to UMBC? In the following season, they felt redemption and they won it all. I think motivation is bigger than all the recruiting, all the transfer portaling, all the roster constructing. I think it's bigger than all those things. There is no team in college basketball more ready to step on the floor on November 7th than Kentucky is, because they want to feel a win, the first of many. So I am telling you guys on this show, and I know you both agree with me, does Kentucky have what it takes? Yes, they do. I believe it's hard to run it back. So for Carolina, I'm concerned about that. Gonzaga has not proven to us they can win the big one. You could talk about whether that narrative's legit or not. It's a fact. And Houston, tough as nails. I think they might be the biggest opposition. But Kentucky, to me, is the number 4 ranked preseason team in the country in my book. And I believe that the idea of redemption, the talent level they have, and a fired-up John Calipari will not be a duplicate performance next March. The Wildcats should be the front runner, if not second, to win it all this upcoming season. I am putting them right there.
He's pandering to the masses, T.O. Hold on. T.O., he's pandering to the masses. Next thing you know, Fanta's going to come on here talking about how great Jeremy Roach is. And you're going to come on here talking about how Chris Murray is better than Keegan Murray and he's going to be a star. I'm going to come on here telling you how Providence is the best program, most likable program, and the one program in the Big East that you cannot call lucky. This is pandering to the audience. Fanta.
No, I'm not.
I'm calling you on
it. No, I'm not.
You know what's funny? I thought that went the other way around. I was like, Fanta is building them up so he can beat them down. Because he's got something against John Calipari, and I'm not sure what it is. He is building them up, so about December he could be like, "Fuck them."
Well, I'm telling you, okay. But you know what? They've had a great summer. They've had so much go well. I think Cal is so smart. I said this on Twitter, and Kentucky fans got mad at me for this. Like, he is so smart to say to Oscar Tshiebwe, "Go and do the NIL stuff." Yeah. I mean, he's not going to say no, but like Kentucky fans. John is so good at publicizing his program. Of course that story landed in The Athletic that day. Like, we could both say it's great that he allowed Oscar to do it, but he's a smart publicity man. If I'm a recruit and I see that, I say, hey, Coach Cal supports me. I could miss some practice time. Who cares about practice? I don't need practice. I'm going to go make bank. No. I think that Kentucky has the most pressure on them going into this season. You know why? They lost to St. Peter's last year. They were the embarrassment of the first round. With that said, I've seen this formula in college basketball work before. Are you guys suggesting to me? Are you now suggesting to me, Robert, that Kentucky doesn't have what it takes to win it all? Because
I just said
Kentucky
I think they
fans
can win a
would like
title.
to know the answer.
I think that I don't think I would call them the favorite at this point, because I think that they are not quite as matchup proof as other teams are. But of course they can win. I have them as a top 5 team. If you're like anywhere in that top 10 range, you have what it takes to win a national title. They have the National Player of the Year coming back, right? They have a whole bunch of athletes. The one thing I really like about this group is that it's clear that they're going to play more point guard, center, and 3 wingish kind of guys, right? And I think that's what you need to be able to thrive in college basketball. You basically need to go 4 around 1. And assuming that Jacob Toppin is going to shoot the way that the hype has kind of built him up to be able to shoot, I think that is the way that it's going to end up. What's going on, guys? Rob Dauster here, the founder of the Field of 68 and the Field of 12 Media Networks. I wanted to take a quick minute to let you guys know about an exciting new project that we have been working on for the last 3 months. The Almanac, an all-encompassing preview of the 2022-23 college basketball season. We spoke with every single Division I head coach to give you a robust and accurate preview for all 363 Division I college basketball teams. We have predictions for conference finishes for all 32 leagues. We have features on the best freshmen, the best big men, the breakout stars, the coaches on the hot seat, so much more. It is 600,000 words of sheer happiness for the college basketball fan in your life. The Almanac is going to be available for digital purchase on September 26th for just $19.99, but you can pre-order it today using the promo code HOOPS and save 20%. Just hit the link in the description below.